It's the After Show with Katie Couric from America Inside Out with Katie Couric on Nat Geo Wednesdays at 10 Central. Geraldo's book is called The Geraldo Show, a memoir out now. And AJ Calloway, you can see him every night on Extra weekdays. Check your local listings. Great to see you. AJ, you look so lean and mean.
Oh, thank you.
You look good.
The bartender doesn't get to talk.
You know what? It's like they stand over there and they get a little drunk and then we say hi.
Let's drink over here.
Geraldo, you look so good. Have you had work done?
No. You know, I had my nose broken.
I remember that.
So as the doctor was putting it, Smith, his name, on the east side, James Smith, as he was putting my nose back together, I said, why don't you shave a little bit of there?
Shave, is that it? But you haven't like had your neck done or anything like that?
No.
Wow, you look good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about
Almost
you?
75 years old.
I've never done.
Wow.
I've never done anything. Wait, did you have? You're 75?
Almost.
Holy crap.
That's crazy.
Wait, did you have fat from your ass put in your face?
Yeah, right here.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Joan Rivers instigated it.
Oh, that's so funny. Joan was begging me to get Botox for years. It was probably the last thing she said to me, get Botox. She was begging me for years and years. I haven't, but I've been thinking
You don't
about it.
know. You look great.
No?
Don't do
I
anything.
feel like all the other guys on late night have a
Really?
little pop.
No, you look great. You look so cute. And don't you love Andy's khaki suit? I told Andy.
Isn't it
I don't know.
early in the season?
No,
I don't think so. I think
don't
May is
so.
fine.
Yeah.
I think May is fine, Geraldo.
And it's hot. It's going to be like 80 degrees today.
Yes.
So.
Cleveland, it's winter until May.
Let's go back to the phones. Caller, what's your name and from where are you calling?
Hi, Andy. This is Karen from Columbus.
Hey, Karen, what's your question?
I've got a question for Katie.
Okay.
Hi, Katie.
Hi.
Can you name an interview you've done in which, after it ended, you regretted not asking that one question?
I feel like that after every interview.
Do you? But you always ask the questions.
I know, but I always second guess myself and think, oh, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? I'm always sort of into self-flagellation. But gosh, I don't know. I think I've really always tried to be super prepared for my interviews. Sometimes I run out of time, but
What's the interview you were the most nervous for? I'll ask you this too. The most.
whenever
thinking,
you interview a president, I think that's very, very nerve-wracking. I was very very nervous for Yasser Arafat because, of course, I had to have a lot of background. You know, you have to be sort of such a quick study, and you have to learn so much when you're interviewing these world figures or presidents. The scope is so broad that it's very anxiety-producing, I think. Don't you know?
interview you've been the most kind of nervous for, or
Well, Manson in a way, because he was so
Unpredictable, right?
Yeah, unpredictable, but also he had such evil. He said, in fact, that if he didn't like the way the interview turned out, he was going to have my head handed to my wife, my dismembered head, decapitated head, rather. I would say that, going back to the other question of the questions left unasked.
Yeah.
With Michael Jackson, I had him just before the Santa Barbara trial, which I instantly think that he was innocent of that particular charge.
was that for 2020?
2005, yeah.
Okay.
No, that was for Fox News.
Okay.
2020 was in another life. And I didn't ask him if he did it. And I always wanted, to go back and have a do-over.
Why didn't you?
Well, Tom Mesereau, his lawyer, had lectured me. He's going on trial. You've got to go easy. Don't.
Also, by the way, if you had asked him, he was going to say no. I didn't do it.
And he had a prepared answer. I knew that, but because I knew also that the circumstances of the charge were so funky. I mean, remember he had the civil settlement that Oprah led to 1993. This is 2005. The 2005 complainant had the same lawyer, the same psychologist. Right. It was just a put-up job, and I thought that he was really being framed. But I didn't ask him. I always wanted to hear his answer.
Back to the phones. Caller, what's your name and from where are you calling?
Hey, this is Carla from Cincinnati.
Hey, Carla, what's your question?
Hey, my question is for the legend, Geraldo. I want to know, what was your relationship like with John Lennon, and are you still in touch with Yoko Ono today?
Yes, I am still in touch with Yoko. John was a wonderful, wonderful person. He was one of the first celebrities I ever interviewed. Met him in 1971, shortly after the Beatles had broken up. He and Yoko were living in Greenwich Village. I did in January of 1972 my expose of the institutions for the mentally retarded, the population now described as developmentally disabled, and they watched it. Then they said they want to do something. So John and Yoko then did a benefit concert for me to deinstitutionalize the care of the developmentally disabled. And he was just a wonderful guy. And one of the saddest nights of my career was when I got the call from Ted Koppel to come report that John Lennon had been killed.
Koppel called you for that. Wow. AJ, who's your favorite interview?
Favorite interview of all time? Muhammad Ali.
Wow, I see why. Back to the phones. Caller, did you read the Jan Wenner book?
I didn't.
The book about Jan Wenner?
Oh, no.
You need to. Back to the phones. Caller, what's your name and from where are you calling?
Chantrell from New Orleans.
Hey, what's your question?
I love you, Andy. My question is for Katie.
Okay.
On your new show, what was the most eye-opening thing you learned about people whose politics you may not agree with?
Well, they're trying to do what's best for them and their families, and they felt, that the way they voted was serving their best interests, and that, I think that the country has become so polarized, and there's so much vitriol and rancor in the discourse, that I think that if we just sat down and talked to each other. I had the most phenomenal experience in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. I was with these EMS workers, and I gave them a couple of hot button issues. I asked them about Colin Kaepernick and about Black Lives Matter. And they answered in a way I thought they would. They really disapproved of Colin Kaepernick, and they said all lives matter. And then an African-American EMS worker walked in, sat down, and explained kind of what he thought about Black Lives Matter. And as a young man, he saw, heard about people getting lynched for looking at a white woman the wrong way. And he was so measured and so compassionate in his answer. They all said, wow, we never thought of it that way.
Wow.
That makes us think about things so differently. And it made me realize if we all just sat down and actually approached these topics and talked to each other and had empathy for different points of view, we could make so much more progress. And one of the guys said, Carlos, we never talked to you about this because we didn't want you to feel uncomfortable. And I think if we are in a situation where we have some grace and some compassion for different points of view and actually listen to people, we would be so much better off in this country.
I agree. I mean, I would argue that social media and cable news don't help the matter.
No.
They certainly don't help. But one of the things I've learned about life working at Fox for the last 17, 18 years is that I said during the program that I'm pro-choice and pro-immigration reform and pro-gun control. But what I've learned working at Fox is if you're anti-gun control, if you're anti-abortion, if you're anti-immigrant, it doesn't make you a bad person necessarily. It doesn't make you ignorant. It doesn't make you stupider than I am. It doesn't make you in any way less admirable. It's just that you have a different set of values.
Right.
I mean, the people at Fox, generally speaking, the management is Irish Catholic. And Irish Catholic people have a different sensibility, I maintain, generally speaking, than the Jewish WASPy people that run the other networks.
Right.
There's liberal and conservative, but it's also racial and religious.
Yeah.
And they are just as sincere, just as smart. They just don't agree.
Believe in the same things. Back to the phones. Last call of the night. Caller, what's your name and from where are you calling?
Hi there. I'm Sarah from New York. And my question is for Geraldo.
Okay.
What was your reaction to Kanye professing his love for the president and all the backlash that followed?
Well, I thought that Kanye really was bold to do that, brave to do that. It's ironic and bitter, I think, and a testament to the divisiveness that Katie was talking about, the rancor, that you can't be in favor of the president of the United States. You can't, we only get one president at a time.
Right.
He succeeds, we succeed. He fails, we fail. So I think that's what Kanye was saying. He likes his dragon blood and all the rest of it. But I think that it takes courage for a celebrity to be in favor of a conservative or right-wing president.
Yeah, I was disappointed that Shania Twain apologized
Me
for
too.
saying that she voted for him. It's like, look, it's fine. That's who you voted for. Go for it. I want to thank Katie and Geraldo and AJ. For more, click on BravoTV.com. Good night, everybody. That was a great show. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching. Watch more clips here and subscribe to our channel here. See ya.